Hello everyone. So we just got a new shipment today, and this is an international shipment from France. So I have a theory on what this is, but we don't know. So let's check it out and see what's inside. This one looks like it'll be easy to open. So I can already see there's a piece of paper inside, so this one's been shipped nice and safely. At least it looks that way from what I can see now. Alright. It's in here. Oh yes, here it is. Bunch of wrapping in here. Also had these. I actually get these at the Publix near my apartment sometimes, so I know what these are. But that's not the center of attention. The center of attention today is this. 100 francs from Mali. And I believe this was made in the exact date is right here on the front, 22 September 1960. Now, Mali is a country in the Sahel region of West Africa. They use the Cefa, the CFA franc, but they left for a while from I think 1960 or 1962 to 1984, and they made their own franc, and this is one of them. I should probably show you this again in the banknote room since the lighting here isn't very good. So as you can see now, we get a better look at it here. I don't know who this man on the left is. He may just be a sort of model that they used, or maybe he's a politician, a Malian politician. When I check name list later, they'll probably be able to tell. As we can see, we got the exact date. 22 September 1960 for 100 francs. Bank of the Republic of Mali. Now, of course, this is in French because Mali was part of French West Africa during the colonial period. And there's a lot of different languages in the Sahel and just within Mali as a country. So French is sort of a lingua franca. Lingua franca, ironically, meaning, well, not ironically, it's a dumb way of using that word. It functions as a lingua franca. So, and also on the back, we got a pretty neat scene. To move this to not make any clear. We got some cattle now. Mali is a very rural country, and of course, so agriculture is a very dominant industry. I actually saw a film about the Timbuktu area during the jihadist insurgency, and it really gave a snapshot into what local life is like, and a lot of the local population outside of the city were nomads who were engaged in agriculture. So this sort of scene of like cattle herding is very relevant in Malian society. Now, as we can see here, the date that this was issued on is the actual date. There are some banknotes I'll put dates that aren't really the actual dates. And the man on the front is actually a political figure by the name of Modibo Keita. And the two signatures on the front belong to Ataher Maiga and Lamin So. I hope I'm pronouncing all these names correctly. I don't really know what language they're coming from. And as you can see, the extra, this is a very rare banknote because the extra fines are priced at $28, and on eBay, if you're seeing like uncirculated ones, you could be looking at $100 or more. And as you can see, I didn't even notice this up here. Ataher Maiga is the finance minister, and Lamin So is the bank governor. And they were printed, interestingly, in Czechia, which was then part of Czechoslovakia. And as we can see here on Google Maps, Mali is located in the Sahel region of Africa. It's rather green to the south, although the northern part, a large amount of it, is largely Saharan desert. And we can see, as I mentioned earlier, Timbuktu is along a river,
and was actually a major trading city for a very long time. And it's surrounded largely by the desert, which is it has residents, but they're very nomadic for obvious reasons. So there aren't like large settlements, although there are a few medium-sized settlements. To give a little background on the man on the front of the banknote, this is Modibo Keita, who was born in 1915 and died in 1977 at the age of 61. He was a Malian politician, and he served as the first president of Mali from 1960 to 1968. He was an African socialist. He was involved with the non-aligned movement, and he was also a teacher starting in 1936 while Mali was still part of French West Africa, and he later got involved in politics in the 40s, and he co-founded a political party called the Sudanese Union. Now that might be a little confusing, but the Sahel region in general, all the way from Mali to modern day, the country of Sudan, was collectively referred to as a whole of Sudan. Now, of course, that name really isn't used very much anymore for obvious reasons, but the political party he founded was called Sudanese Union, and Mamadou Konate was the other co-founder. Also, they merged with the African Democratic Rally in 1946, and they became the US-RDA. Now, they were the only official party, and they were the one that he served as president under. And after the coup, he was imprisoned, and he ended up dying in 1977. And interestingly, there was another Modibo Keita, a second Modibo Keita, who served as a prime minister in the early 2000s, which is a pretty interesting coincidence to see the same name twice. Now, as I may or may not have mentioned earlier, I don't exactly remember, these francs, these Malian francs, are no longer used. Now, Mali, being a formerly part of French West Africa, uses the CFA franc, aka the Cefa, and a few countries have left the Cefa. Only 4 of them. Mali is one of them, and Mali is the only one to have come back. The other ones are Mauritania, Guinea, and Madagascar. And Mali left the Cefa in 1962. They started their own franc, but they ended up returning in 1984. Now, I've been looking and I can't seem to find any exact information as to why Mali returned to the Cefa, but as we can see here, the Malian franc was pegged to the French franc, with 1 French franc equaling 100 Malian francs. I should probably highlight that down here. And this banknote that I just got is from the first series. Oh, and it actually appears that the date was a fake. 1962, not 1960. And this was the second to smallest nomination. It was 50 francs to 5,000 francs. And there was a second series, and then a third series. Now, the third series was made after Modibo Keita was overthrown in the coup, so of course they wouldn't be circulating banknotes with his picture on them anymore. And in 1984, Mali readopted the Cefa, which was one CFA franc equaling 2 Malian francs.
Now, as you can see here, due to the size and the condition of this banknote, I decided to use one of the large ones instead. It doesn't look that odd until you really notice it's a bit tall for how wide it is. And also I moved it to the bottom one on this one because I'll be getting a 50 franc note from this same series soon, and there'll be one right after the other, so they'll go together perfectly. Well, it looks like that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video if you like the video, leave a comment if you have any thoughts about the banknote, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks for watching.